Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share, because I'm sure I have not shared this yet, how I got into debt and kind of my story. So I guess where is it to start? I mean, the long and short of it is I was really stupid, really dumb. I made a lot of bad decisions. That basically sums how I got to where I was. But I just wanted to let you know that I am currently debt-free. I have zero debt, and I've been debt-free about 2 years, maybe just under 2 years, But I guess it all started from the time I turned 18. As an adult, they sent me a credit card in the mail. 18 years old, fresh out of high school, working minimum wage paying job, which was really shitty. And also I went to school right out of high school, taking a course I didn't really want to take, but my mom said I had to go to school. So I went to school, took out some student loans. I had a small scholarship, but it did not cover enough, and my mom helped out with a very small amount, which didn't cover a lot. So student loans, taking a course that I never ended up finishing because, again, bad decisions. So I'm stuck with student loans for a course or for a diploma that I never finished. Credit card that went from $500 to $1,000. So, and I'm only 18 years old at this time, so already I'm a few $1,000s in debt, and I can't catch up because, well, I'm working a crappy minimum wage job, making $7 an hour at that time, and it just never was enough to make barely even minimum payments at that time. And then I made an even stupider decision. I moved out when I was 19 because I got what I thought was a better paying job, but it was only because it was almost full time. But even then I was only making not even $500 every 2 weeks, and my rent was $524 at the time for one bedroom. And again, more stupid decisions. I got a $10,000 credit limit credit card, and I went shopping. Like you wouldn't believe. I bought a used car on that. I went out to eat every night. I barely cooked at home. I bought new clothes. I went out. I bought new furniture. You name it, I bought it. I just spent money on living the high life when really I had not even 2 nickels to rub together to my name. I had no savings. Then on top of all that, I bought a brand new cell phone, and at that time the cool ones were those flip phones, and I spent a few $100s on that, and then I went above and beyond on my plan, and I ended up with a pretty near $800 bill that I could not pay off, so that got cut off. And then I had used another credit card for that to pay that, so I got my phone back, but I'm still paying for it. And then another stupid decision, I was working. I lost that job because I went back to school, and here I'm living on my own. Anyway, long story short, for that period, I ended up getting evicted because I let a friend stay at my place, and he was very loud, and I got evicted out because of noise. It was a really terrible place to live anyway, and I moved back home. Then I found this other job where I was working in the bars and stuff, and I was making great money, great tips. So I just finally started paying back stuff, and slowly was getting back on my feet, even though I had, at this point, like almost $20,000 just in consumer debt. Then, I made another stupid decision. I met this really charming guy, and, you know, I thought we were going to have a life together. Long story short of that, he used me for all the money that all my savings that I did manage to work up, all gone. And we ended up having a child together, and he did not help me financially with my daughter at all. And so here I was stuck alone with a child, no money coming because I couldn't work in the bars, having, you know, being pregnant, and so I was making nothing, and I had all this debt on me still. So then things started piling up and piling up and piling up, and, you know, every time I did get money, he would take it because he had, you know, his own problems. Anyway, that was a terrible relationship. It didn't last too long, and I was already out all kinds of money because of it. And then I was a single mom, so I had to move back in with my mom, and I lived there until I got back up on my feet, which took about a year and a half, 2 years, because I stayed there for the time I was pregnant because I couldn't work, so I had to move back in with my mom. And by then, I'm already, like, in the 20,000s of in debt because I wasn't being able to make any payments because I wasn't working. I had to go on assistance for a few months, but I was getting $400 a month for rent, and my payments were like over $500 that I had to pay back. Anyways, so that it didn't work out because I had to eat, and I had to pay my mom a little bit of rent, and, you know, I had to survive. And then at that time, I wasn't really good with my money, obviously. So then anyway, I went back to work after a month, 1 month after I had my daughter. I went back to working in the bars. And then after she turned a year old, her birthday's in August, we moved out in October. I had my new apartment, which was way too expensive for me, but I don't know even how I got it. It was over $1,000 a month in rent. So I lived there for 3 years, and again, barely making ends meet, but buying useless stuff, just spending money and making bad decisions, you know, falling for all those, you know, schemes where if you buy something, then you will make money, and just all kinds of stupid promotions, like on all those stuff, those magical pills that will help you lose weight that cost like $100, and just so many stupid things. That's all I can say is how stupid I was. And then I lived in that place for 4 years, and then, you know, I had to get out of there. Then I lived in another apartment with my daughter, and then I was only there for about a year, and then I had to move back in with my mom because, like, I was barely paying my rent. In fact, I had to borrow money to pay my rent. So moved back in with my mom. I went back to school again. This time I was much older, and I was able to do my schooling. So I was very fortunate. I got scholarships, which were enough to cover all of my schooling. So I didn't get any more student loans that time. And in fact, I got so many scholarships, I was able to pay down a lot of my debt. And then when I was working, I just paid whatever extra money I got, and I sold a bunch of stuff, and every money that I made, I paid down onto my credit or my debt. And it was a very long journey for me getting into debt. And I look back now, and all the money that I wasted on, you know, interest on stupid things like takeout and just stupid stuff, that I will never ever see that money ever again. Ever. It is gone. And learning from my mistakes. But yeah, so then after I moved in with my mom, I was living with my mom, and I went to school. When I finished school, me and my husband got married, and I moved out here just over 2 years ago. And then I got a better job. It's not a great paying job because it's a small town, and my options out here are very limited, and there's not a whole lot of great paying. Had I stayed in the city, I could have gotten a job paying 2-3 times as much as what I make. But that is a sacrifice that we made because I wanted to be close to home so I could take care of my daughter before and after school. So, yeah, after all of that, I've mentioned many times in my other videos how I managed to get out of debt, and that's how I did. I just, I had enough of making stupid decisions and, wasting my life trying to survive my dumb decisions, basically. So that is how I got into debt. I think my highest debt was in between $25,000-$30,000, and I managed to pay that off in just a few years. And that I always had a car during these times, and at some point I managed to straighten myself out and just stop making dumb decisions. This was me. This is only me. I have no one else to blame. I can't. If I think about it too much, I almost get anxiety because of all the dumb things I've done in my younger years. And I'm so glad that I caught it at an okay time, and I'm gonna be okay. I'm debt free now. I have an emergency fund saved up for at least 3 months. I have saved up of income, so if anything were to happen to my income, then I at least have 3 months. I'm aiming for 6, but 3 months, and then I have my $1,000 emergency fund as well. So I'm doing okay, and that is my story. And I just wanted to share that because, I don't know everybody else's story, but I know mine was mostly just, making the wrong decisions and, trying to do it all on my own all the time and being too proud to accept help from anybody and just making the worst decision every time. If I got two choices to make, I would always take the worst one. And even with all of that, I managed to get out of the hole that was causing me anxiety and depression and not being able to breathe some days. And that also made my debt worse too. But, I managed to get out of it, and here I am with my life that I'm sharing with you. And I hope that things can only get better from here on out. And that is my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I see you all next time. Bye, and have a fabulous day.